Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Mediumcore. In this episode, finally gonna start branching out, building one heck of a big build. As stated in the last episode, I'm gonna start building the mansion here in this big area, specifically through real life inspirations of real life mansions. And I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do this yet. Probably what I'll do is lay a basic foundation and work my way up from there. Either that or I'll work on specific areas of the build, like I did here, and then build it up and around from there. But more than likely I'll just start with the foundation and work my way up from there. And I think what I'm going to have it is the entrance is at about this level, so this much in between. And then I'll just fill out the space as best as I can. I want to have it obviously extend more outwards when it gets back here so I can have more space, since oddly enough, despite having a ton of space, I still feel like I don't have a lot of space, which is something I'll have to deal with, but I'll figure it out. So I'm going to look at some reference images and hopefully lay down a foundation for y'all. I've done a little bit of mountain carving and laid out a foundation. Right now it's made out of moss. Actually, it'll stay made out of moss. You'll see why. But I had to do a lot of carving of this mountain to get this so it wasn't trying to climb up a vertical, because originally this mountain extended this high all the way out to like here, and I didn't want to have the house be diagonal. I wanted it to be at least partially flat. But this is the main foundation. It's not terribly large. It's not the biggest thing I've done, but it'll be decently tall, and it's gonna be good, I hope. And the reason I started off with moss is because I want to build this up with a slight gradient at the base, as to show like ivy growing up the side, and then eventually it'll build off to the same block palette as this. So the moss will fade away into like mossy cobble, and then into andesite, and then into stone brick, cracked stone brick, and then building is slightly layered. So this slight curve here I'm going to make into an entranceway that's going to have a grand staircase downwards. This is just a horizontal extension. That over there, this little curve here, is going to be a tower, and then this entire big back block is going to be one giant building section, kind of like that half of the gatehouse, but bigger. And this should hopefully turn out at least decently well. It's on a quite large scale, so it's going to be hard, but I'm excited to see how it turns out. And of course, this will only be the first build of many. Well, not many, but a few. And it's going to be a big one. I know it looks a little weird right now. Actually, it looks a lot weird, but I have a plan, I promise. I know where I'm going with this. This is just the base layer, which actually it might be a little too tall, but it is what it is. But this is just the base layer, and God, it's really flat on the back. Might have to do something about that. But yeah, my plan is, well, at least part of it is to do the typical wooden support beams like these, and then up here have the big entrance hall with the big old grand staircase coming down, and that's what I want to do, because that'll look a lot better, because right now this just looks like a big plain flat big old brick. Well, not plain, at least it has some level of texture, and there will be more texturing here a bunch of leaves around the base and such. But this is just the start. And it won't look as painfully tall when the rest of the build is in place. But it does look weird right now, but it'll be better, I promise. On an unrelated note, though probably much more positive, I got the last color of axolotl. It's the poop colored one. Looks so happy. So now I've got blue, brown, yellow, and pink. So if nothing else, I've accomplished that in this episode. Which means I've accomplished a lot either way. So yeah, that's that. Now that is what I call a grand staircase. I've built this very large staircase all the way up and all the way up to this. I put in a basic floor, got the first layer of blocks. I made the tower out of a different build palette because I want the tower to be like an accent piece. More of a gray and green, kind of like the base, to go along with the bluish green and the black. Well, dark brown. It's just a accent tower, kind of like I have on that build over there. The first of the shops that I built when I did the marketplace. But I've got a layer of blocks here to just outline all the colors, and then a basic floor, 2 doors, staircase, big staircase. And then down here, I've got another door, which leads into what will be the basement of this mansion. So I basically built the basement above ground because that makes perfect sense, and this would be like a servant's entrance or something. And then this is the grand entrance. And then of course, because of this little flat area, they got a balcony in which they can like look at approaching visitors. But yeah, so that's that. That's the whole base layer technically complete. All that's left to do is build up to it and then do the second and probably third stories and then the roof. So that's like 1 or 2 more episodes after I finish up this one. So actually this shouldn't take too terribly long. It's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of like the same repetitive work, so it's easy to do a lot of at once. But yeah, so that's the basement complete. One final addition has been made. As you can see, I've connected the main road to a little circular drive to the house. And in the center of it, added a flagpole. Same flag as is on the big old tower in the background, because it's the same territory, I suppose, same region, so it's the same flag. It's really tall. It doesn't look the best from the ground, but it looks better from up here when you can actually see it. But yeah, I've got everything connected now. And then any future building that's made in this area can be connected to the road now as well. One thing I noticed, rather unfortunate, this entire build is not centered. It's 1 block off. This entire thing is in the wrong spot. Well, it's too late now, because there is no way that I'm gonna move all of this. It's not happening. That's hours of work that I am not gonna do again. That's rather unfortunate, though. 1 block off. That's about my luck, but yeah, that If nothing else, I can say it was intentional. But either way, what's done is done. And speaking of done, that's all I'm going to do for today's episode of Minecraft Medium Core. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.